Got brand new video in, this coming to us through some of our usual sources, the networking sites, YouTube and Twitter. So you're on the ground there in Tehran, and the foreign correspondents are out, but you've got your mobile device,
right,
your BlackBerry,
you've got your BlackBerry,
and you're saying,
or even just your cell phone, and you can get on.
And you're saying, here's what's going on the ground right now in Tehran.
Volunteers reported election results in real time via SMS in Sierra Leone, preventing violence and ensuring a fair.
What I've come here to see is how the telecoms revolution is changing grassroots politics. Marcy Kadanyeka is a community organizer here. The main problem she's organizing against is forced eviction.
They go to chief's office, they pay a bribe, and definitely they'll come and evict you. They have a group called youth wingers, strong men, who usually come and take off your door, window, or roof, and then you remain like that. They throw your things out. That's eviction.
Every one of the 50,000 people living up against this railway line lives in fear of the bulldozers. And for years, each shantytown in Nairobi would have faced this problem in isolation. But mobile phones have changed all that.
From all over Nairobi, we had a meeting, and out of that they just told us that in case of anything, if we see a bulldozer around, we call all people using mobile phones, and then we lie along the areas that they were to evict.
So, political flash mobbing arrives in Kenya. The mere fact that there's a network linking people across the depths of abject poverty shows how quickly technology can change things, even at the micro level.
Projects in Kenya and Japan help hundreds of day laborers find jobs through SMS marketplaces. Rural women in India are using mobile phones to keep track of small loans for their micro-enterprises.
This means for farmers like Benjamin Ikombo, getting a fair market price for their crops is crucial. Up to now, he's been at the mercy of the middleman, but not anymore.
So now I can just get prices straight from the mobile. Now, for example, I've now written the word tomatoes.
Yeah.
Then I send the message.
I see.
To the network. See whether we shall get the answer.
I'm going deeper anyway.
There you are. They have answered. Let's
so now it's given us the price.
It has given. Let's see what is there now. In Nairobi, it is 2,350. And the Kitale, we have 1,000 Kenya shillings.
So there's a massive price difference.
It's very massive. Where we can see Nairobi, it is twice as much.
Before this service started, he wouldn't have had a clue about the price. So, almost overnight, there's a radical change in the economics of farming. This has become the middleman, really, hasn't it?
This is my middleman.
I've come to see the launch of a service that lets you send and receive cash using your mobile.
Select send money, and it asks me for your phone number. Let me send you 500 shillings.
It's good enough
that
for me.
should buy you some lunch. Then I press OK. It shows me that it's sending, and it's confirmed.
And it actually says 500 Kenyan shillings sent to you from Catherine. Once it's on the phone, you take it to a cashier, give them a PIN code, and get your money. In a continent where bank accounts are scarce, the impact will be revolutionary, and not just there. I think it's tens of billions of dollars worth of money that's sent by people who've migrated to countries like America and the UK could soon be being sent
through
these. It's just absolutely mind-blowing, the implications of it. Implication 1, within months, huge volumes of cash will be flying around Africa that were not before. Implication 2, we'll all soon be using our phones as wallets, and it's been pioneered in Africa.
It's a consumer-driven revolution. It's using the smartphone as a mediator of this information, where the signal goes, where it's processed to. So it couldn't be better, because this is empowering people to have better tracking of their health and prevention of disease. You know, I never thought I would be able to look on a smartphone and see the real-time electrocardiogram. So a lot of things are right in the space that I can appreciate the most, but I also can see how, for example, why would we have sleep laboratories in hospitals in the future? Who would want to spend night in the hospital trying to sleep and picking up a very common problem of sleep disorders? Why would we have cardiac rehab programs in hospitals when this could all be done in a patient's home or in a local gym?
This swine flu application tells you how you can reduce your risk of contracting H1N1 anytime and anywhere through your iPhone.
So you're in a third world country and need to show a microscopic image to a colleague. What do? Scientists at UC Berkeley have created an inexpensive fluorescent microscope that attaches to a mobile phone. Since most mobile devices are now equipped with cameras, scientists using this device can take images of microscopic bacteria and blood cells and share them with colleagues all over the world.
Phones are used to track diseases and monitor patients with TB and HIV/AIDS in countries like Rwanda, Mali, and South Africa. In places as far apart as the United States, Indonesia, and Nigeria, people use SMS text messaging to learn about AIDS, breast cancer, and
So you're wondering, how do I apply all of this to a cross-cultural outreach? Let's say you're preparing for a trip to a tough country. Translators will be scarce, and the culture pretty hard to engage with. So first you assign 2 team members to research methods for evangelism to that particular people group. So these guys search the net and they find an evangelistic film. They also find an audio Bible and a cell phone movie. All of these are in the heart language of the people. The teams put these resources onto their laptops, MP3 players, and cell phones. You're probably going to take all this stuff with you anyway. Why not use it? So you get to where you're going, and you start doing evangelism. You've got your cell phone with you, and you show some short clips to make some friends. Over the next week, you build on those relationships, and you share the love of God with them. So when you feel they're ready, you show them an evangelistic film on a laptop. Before you part ways, you give them an MP3 audio Bible in their language, and you give them an address to an evangelistic website.
Tell?
Sid found this piece of cardstock in the victim's hand. It's obviously torn apart. Get this, the eye is a match to our Vic.
The last thing Kevin McBride was holding was a picture of himself?
Guess so. Wait a minute. See, take a look at this. This pattern is just like what I found on the cardstock. It's a QR code, stands for quick response.
Quick response to what?
Well, you don't know until you scan it with something like my QR-compatible cell phone. It takes you to a coffee company called Espresso Shock. It's clever.
So the software on the phone converts the code into a web address.
Right. It lets you jump from printed content to online content.
Which means